Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy George Michael Perez, aka G Mike, and y'all already know what it is, baby. Back again with another episode of Los Bandoleros Fantasy Football League, and this week was pretty ass. Pretty ass. The world of football, there was a lot of underdogs that won, and then in fantasy itself, there was a lot of players that weren't supposed to score that were scoring. It's crazy. It's crazy. Before we get into it, though, follow me on Twitter at George Mike Perez, IG, TikTok, and YouTube, IG Mike Media _. And if you haven't heard the podcast that I have out about sports, basketball, football, baseball, whatever you want to hear, it's under the G Perspective on all podcast platforms and available on YouTube as well. So we're going to get into it. This week 6 results and these week 7 matchups. Again, it was crazy week, but you know, it is what it is. It's fantasy football, and that's what it does. Let's get into it. All right, first matchup is myself going up against the undefeated king, and he remains undefeated. It's crazy. It's crazy. Shout out to Tricky, though, man. It started off 6-0. Okay, I see you, man. I scored 99 points, 68 points. Tricky scored 126.70 points. My team really didn't do much. Leonard Fournette, obviously still doing his thing, like always, 63 rush yards, 6 receptions, 1 reception TD. Zeke actually having a good game, 81 rush yards, 1 rush TD, but everyone else really didn't do much. Kyler Murray throwing an interception at the end of the game dropped me down that many points, but Tricky was still going to get the win. His team went off, had 6 players above 10 or more points. Brandon Ayoku, though, that during the matchup had me surprised. 2 reception TDs, 83 reception yards on 8 receptions. Boy did his thing for sure. And then Eckler, of course, putting up great fantasy points, 24.30 points. And the bench, if I would have substituted anybody else, if I would have put Mooney in for Michael Carter, yeah, it would have helped me out. But still would have lost. Tricky's team just went off. I had 17.80 bench points. Tricky had 16.70 bench points. So that's how you know this week in fantasy was a little rough for everybody. Tricky moves on to, well, still first place, 6-0 record. The only undefeated person in the league. I remain in third place with a 4-2 record. All right, second matchup here is Jose going up against Fabi, aka the Legend. And woo, what a close game that was. Jose put up 131.72 points. Fabi put up 132.46 points. Fabi won by 0.74 points. That is crazy. Stephon Diggs going off for Jose, 148 reception yards, 10 receptions, 1 reception TD. Tyreek Hill, same thing, 177 reception yards on 12 receptions. Did his thing for sure. But then, you know, his other players, Lazard didn't work too, but Daniel Jones, that's what you get for trading off Josh Allen to Fabi. And then Gabriel Davis as well. And picking up Bryce Hall. Hey, we were making fun of Fabi the whole time while he was doing this trades, but that boy has won 3 weeks in a row with those trades that he has made. So, hey, shout out to him, man. I see you. And he started the running back for the Indianapolis Colts in replacement of Jonathan Taylor, and he put up 28.10 fantasy points. Sheesh. 79 reception yards, 1 rush TD. Oof, doing work for sure. Check out the benches here. Jose, if you would have put in anybody else, you probably would have lost even more. But, you know, it is what it is. Fabi, if you would have substituted some players, you probably would have lost against Jose. So you did some good coaching there. Jose put up 31.20 fantasy points on his bench. Fabi, 14.20. Like I said, rough week in fantasy. But Fabi wins his 3rd week in a row. He moves to 5th place, 3-3. Jose drops down to 9th place. He's 2-4. All right, we got the reigning champ, Steve, going up against Ernie. Steve put up 127.02 points. Ernie put up 113.94 points. Steve's team actually did his thing. Finally, Michael Pittman Jr. doing some work, 26.40 fantasy points, 134 reception yards, 13 receptions. And Stevenson, the backup running back for the Patriots, has 76 rush yards, 2 rush TDs, 25.10 fantasy points. And obviously, Mark Andrews still doing his thing. like always. Ernie's team, Jamar Chase finally showing out, 2 reception TDs, 132 reception yards. Alvin Kamara looking like his old self. Jalen Waddle finally put up some points as well after that 2-week bad rep, but Ernie's team was not enough to get the win. Let's check out the benches real quick. Yeah, if Ernie would have substituted maybe Thielen in for Mike Evans, it would have helped him out. He would have been up there, maybe a closer game. Maybe he would have been up, like, it would have been 127 to like 122. Still would have lost, but if he would have replaced, if then he would have put Dawson Knox in for his Eagles tight end, I think he would have won that game for sure. So it was just the lineup set up for Ernie. He scored 53.30 points on the bench. Steve, 23.70 points on the bench. Like I said before, it's been a rough week in fantasy, so those are low scoring benches compared to the other weeks. Steve improves to 3-3 and he goes up to 6th place. Ernie stays in 4th place. He's 4-2. All right, we got one of the saddest matchups of the week. We got Jawan scoring 87.24 points. He's beating George, 81.76 points. Jawan's team, Jalen Hurts had a decent game. Yeah, but Kenneth Walker is what really put him over the hump for scoring those 6 points. He had 97 rush yards, 1 rush TD. He's going to be the new starting. He's been the new starting back, running back for Seattle, and he's probably going to put up points. But again, George loses because of his lineup, his coaching. He put in Carson Wentz instead of Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson would have gotten him the win. Christian McCaffrey doing the thing, 89 reception yards, 7 receptions, 69 rush yards, no TD. Imagine if he had a TD, he would have put up 30, but he put up 22.80 points. Brian Robinson finally coming back after getting shot in the leg. Hey, mad respect to him for continuing to follow his dream. Boy put up 60 rush yards, 1 rush TD. That's what's up. But when we check out the benches, Russell Wilson sitting on the bench with 13.82 points. If you would have put him in for Carson Wentz, he would have beat Jawan and he would not be defeated right now. Jawan, good coaching, because if you would have put anybody else, you would have lost for sure. But George scored 27.62 fantasy points on the bench. Jawan only 5.10 points. Jesus, what a week, man. What a week. George goes down to 0-6, last place in the league. Jawan improves to 3-3, and he's 7th place in the league. All right, we got another close matchup here. We got Gio, a.k.a. the rookie, going up against Johnny Say Word, a.k.a. the hottest rapper out of Miami. Gio scored 98.20 points. Johnny, 102.50 points. Gio's team, Joe Burrow, showing out 32.50 fantasy points, 300 pass yards, 3 pass TDs, and 1 rush TD. So he was showing out for sure. But, of course, Chase Edmonds does not do anything. Shits the bed there. We got Duvernay, didn't really do much, only 1 reception, 14 reception yards. But looking over at Johnny's, Trevor Lawrence doing his thing. Justin Jefferson doing his thing for sure. Joe Mixon. But surprising that Nick Chubb did not do much, but it was a tough New England Patriots defense. 56 rush yards, 14 reception yards, and 1 reception. Only 8 fantasy points. That's a big surprise right there. Now, if we check out the benches, Gio could have won if he replaced his tight end, Hirsch, with Tunyon. 19 points on the bench, 10 receptions, 90 reception yards. He would have won for sure. Or even putting in T. Higgins for Duvernay, he would have won. And then you look over to Johnny. If Johnny would have put in Mike Gillespie for Tyler Higbee, he would have won so much more. And Juju Smith-Schuster with 22.30 fantasy points. Johnny scored 63.50 fantasy points on the bench. Gio 49.64. Gio drops down to 11th place. Actually stays at 11th place with 1-5. Johnny improves to 3-3 and is now in 8th place. All right, this is the next low-scoring matchup that we got, and it went down to the wire of last night's game between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers, literally down to the last second of the game. Adonis won 73.92 points. Kevin, 71.22 points. Tough way to lose because he had Melvin Gordon that did not score just 1 point. They took him out the game. He did not come back in. for a while. Justin Herbert only put up 8.42 fantasy points. But you look at Adonis's team, Saquon Barkley doing his thing like always, Travis Kelce as well. But his receivers shit the bed. It was enough to put him over, though. He won by 2 points and something. Now we check out the benches right quick. If Kevin would have put in Najee Harris or Devin Singletary or Melvin Gordon, or both of them for Melvin Gordon and Aaron Jones, he would have won clearly for sure. But he didn't. He put up 36 fantasy points on the bench. Adonis put up 33.18. Adonis stays in second place with 5-1. Kevin drops down to 10th place and he's 2-4. All right, we look at the matchups next week. Got myself going up against Adonis, aka Crypto Wolf. That's gonna be a dope matchup right there. Second and third place going at it. Jose going up against Gio, aka the Rookie. The reigning champ Steve going up against Johnny Say Word. Then we got Fabi, aka the Legend, going up against Kev. Jawan going up against Ernie, and then the defeated King going up against the undefeated King. That's gonna be a matchup to see. Now we look at the standings right quick. Tricky first, Donna second, your boy still in third. Fourth, Ernie. 5, Fabi, aka Legend. 6, the reigning champ Steve. 7th, Jawan. 8, Johnny Say Word. 9, Jose. 10, Kevin. 11, the Rookie Gio. And then 12, George losing hurts. And if you look at it from 5 to 8, same type of standings there, but it's gonna change throughout. We're only in week 7 now, but it's gonna get intense for sure. Alright, so week 6 is in the books. Tricky remains undefeated. George is defeated, and your boy is in third place. It's gonna be a tight couple of weeks coming up. We need some people to win. We need some people to lose. But before that, follow me on my socials. On Twitter at George Mike Perez, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at GMikeVideo_. And then the podcast that I've been doing on sports, you can check it out on all podcast platforms under the G Perspective or on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, leave some comments, talk shit to your boy. Come on, man. And follow me on my socials, baby. But next week, we'll get into it, the week 7 results and the week 8 matchups. Let's go.